League more, another week. The Tigers have got a bye next weekend, but last weekend they took on the Redcliffe Dolphins, and the Dolphins get us by 2.
Yeah, it was a skinny win. Both sides played really well, actually. Johnny would be pretty happy, I'm sure, with the way the Tigers played. No chocolates, though, unfortunately, and that's a bit of inconsistency. A win the previous week, lost the week before that, so you'd be looking for some consistency.
Yeah. The nature of the competition sees us go from in the top 6 out of that. That's the nature of the beast, but obviously we get Tweed this weekend. Tweed, they're a surprise package this year. They've always been thereabouts, but now they're really starting to switch on with Ben Wolfe down there.
Yeah, they seem to be really hitting their straps this year. They've been a bit hit and miss in the past, and a little bit like East are this year, and East with a new squad and that as well. They're trying to still gel, obviously, but look, they'll be a challenge down there, or a tough place to go and play Piggabeen, as I know from experience and as coaching as well. So yeah.
All right, well, this week's show, Galaxy of Stars, we've got John Buchanan, we've got Mark Lydden as well, the Statler and Waldorf of the operation. We also spoke to Mitchell Frei, we also spoke to Lachlan West from the Colts, and also Danielle Hunter from the BHP side, and we had a chat to her, and lots to talk about, and lots of stuff to talk about in what's happening with the Intrust Super Cup and all the other competitions. Back soon.
Today, Firehawks formally announced its intention to submit an expression of interest to be the 17th team in the National Rugby League competition. Please appreciate that we do not want to go into detail about our proposal until all proposals have been provided to the Australian Rugby League Commission. And
May 18th, mark it in your calendar, the day the Firehawks launch their approach or their application in becoming the 17th NRL side. And today, Brian Torpy and the company front of the cameras to release what the Firehawks are all about. Gavin, Payne, you were there. Very structured but very guarded press conference.
Yeah, look, they're not giving too much away, obviously. They want to wait until all the bids are in before divulging any of the intricacies of the bid. And that's warranted. It's obviously a close run race. At the conference they sort of said that it wasn't really, they haven't beat their own chest or anything at this stage, where perhaps some of the other bids are doing a bit more self-promotion. Been a low-key event, and they're reasonably confident, I believe, from the indication that came out of the meeting today, that they're in there with a really good chance.
107 years, and the Tigers starting at Cooperoo to where we are now, and they are looking to go next level. They're ready for it. They've been doing it for a long time. They know their stuff.
Well, they've been in this bid process for over 12 months, according to Shane Richardson today, and Shane's been heavily involved in that, along with Brent Richardson as well, and obviously Steve Bullow was on the panel there today, along with Brian, as you mentioned earlier. Look, they've put a lot of work into this. 105 years, as you say, of the club. Started back at Cooperoo in 1919, went to the East Tigers in 1933, I'm pretty sure it was, and from there, they've continued to build. It's been a very successful club over the years. Not so much recently with the premierships as such, but the club is not always judged on the premierships that come about. It's the success of developing the talent, and also leagues clubs and that, and the backing that comes from that.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing that I took out of the press conference was the fact that the Firehawks, I should say, are an Indigenous bird that goes way back. So it isn't just because of a nice name. They've thought about the branding, the colours. Nothing's been left unturned by this consortium to get the NRL side. They try to ask about players and coaches and this, but there's no point in talking about that. We're talking about the success. $80 million financial, no debt. This club has got everything it needs to go forward and become the 17th NRL side.
And as you say, they're very confident in their bid. They haven't given much away. They're keeping their cards pretty close to their chest, but they're extremely confident that they've got a bid that will be successful, and if not, given great consideration. I've been at the club for many years now as well, and I've never seen some people around the establishment quite as excited as they are with the bid. I'm looking forward to getting some details of the other bids once they become available, and sort of being able to compare them in my own mind to see exactly where the Tigers sit.
And one thing that was spoken about was actually Queensland and Brisbane players. They're trying to get that local content, and because and the Brisbane Tigers and the East Tigers of the past have produced some great internationals and great Origin players.
Yeah, look, Rod Morris, Jeff Denman for Australian players, John Payne that I can think of, out of that, also Queensland players, Darren Smith, Paul Green, and going back to Des also, Des Morris played for that, Queensland and Australia as well. So, it's been a very successful club. The unfortunate side of that is with the establishment of the NRL and the lowering of the standard, if I can call it that, in the early days, from 95 onwards when the Broncos came in, there's been not as much success as far as East players or Brisbane Tigers players developing and going into that league. Developed many players that have gone on to play in the NRL directly, but not anyone who's established and come from the East Tigers or the Brisbane Tigers to play at that high level.
And CEO Brian Torpey mentioned it's not just a club for South East Queensland, it's Central Queensland, and he wants to be a national side. So places like Perth, South Australia, anyone can come and say, okay, we haven't got a club. Let's go become part of the Firehawks family, become memberships. The digital approach from the Brisbane Tigers is going to be second to none. They've gone to the US to get everything they can to possibly reach everybody in Australia and become part of the Firehawks. Outstanding.
Well, Brian used the term calling it the nest. I think he mentioned during the press conference today, and that's an apt term. The Firehawk has the nests all over the place, all over Northern Australia, typically where the breed originally comes from. And he's talking about, like you said, having a nest in Adelaide, a nest in Perth, a nest in Townsville, even a nest certainly in the Greater Brisbane area where not everyone's a Broncos supporter. So they're looking for another team to support and to cheer against the Broncos as such. So this could well be that side.
All right, well, let's go to the press conference. It was happened this morning, 18th of May. Mark it in your calendar. We're not really sure when the NRL are going to ask for submissions or when they're going to make the final decision. It doesn't matter. We know what we're doing here at the Brisbane Tigers and with the Firehawks, and hopefully you'll make your own impression of what was said today here at the press conference. Okay, League and More, John Buchanan, mate, 2 points, cost 2 points. It's that sort of a contest we have in the Intrust Super Cup.
Yeah, it was a tough afternoon, to be honest. I think I thought we were probably the better side for the majority of the game. In saying that, Redcliffe defended really well. I thought we threw a hell of a lot at them. We just couldn't find a way to get across the stripe, particularly in that second half. I suppose from a spectator point of view, it was a good game of footy, but we want to be on the other end of the scoreboard, not the reverse. And disappointed. We've got to be better in those crucial moments and get a result. Yeah,
and it is such a competition. We're inside the top five, drop out just from one weekend of footy. Something I've noticed in the Intrust Super Cup in the this season, I haven't seen too many games where it's dominated entirely for 80 minutes. I suppose your game against Burleigh was probably an exception, but there just seems to be a chop and a change. The 80 minutes to us must feel like 160 years as part of the coaching staff.
Oh, yeah, some weeks it feels like it's 5 hours.
Yeah.
That game on the weekend just seemed to be end-to-end.
Yeah.
Really fast, physical. We've had different sort of battles this year where we've had some games that have been a little bit stop-start but really physical, and some games that have been really open, probably not as physical. But that game on the weekend was right up there, I think, with in quality for 80 minutes. On both sides of the ball, like fast with the footy and defensively really good as well. So still I wanted a result. Unfortunately, we didn't get it, and we've got to move on and get into the next one.
All right, speaking of the next one, it's against Tweed. Down at Pigabeen Stadium, it's a really tough road trip to go down to Pigabeen. It takes like 3 days to get down there and 5 to get back. They're a more mobile side, aren't they? They're not renowned for having big forwards. No offence to the forwards if they come knocking on my door. I didn't mean it, but they're a more expansive side. You've got to really be sharp from the wingers all the way in.
Yeah, look, their back five look really like they're a threat every time they got the ball. Coming out of yardage, also finishing off their structure stuff. So, the thing about Tweed, and it's been the case for us ever and a day, they're always real physical, always turn up, and want to get into a scrap with you. So if we don't turn up with that mindset that we're there for a battle, then it's going to be a tough afternoon down there. They're travelling really well. I think they're sitting in the top 3 or 4th. I'm not sure. They're up there anyway. So, look, they're doing a lot of things right, and they're going to be a tough opposition for us.
Yeah, Ben Wolf, the coach, he doesn't say very much, but he's certainly a talented coach with what he rolls out. During the week, you got caught up with the Storm troop?
Yeah, I've been up there today actually. It was a good day. You always learn something going into that system. So it's always interesting to see what the best coach in the game does after a game. So enjoyed it.
Is that what, Craig, I thought you were going to say. Yeah, no, I can understand what you're talking about, JB. So with the Storm, do they watch all your games? Do they watch them live? Is he on the phone that night? How did somebody, Craig, if they played on Friday night or anything like that? Is he in touch with you regularly?
We talk to the staff regularly up there. I don't know, sometimes 4 or 5 times a week, I suppose.
Okay.
But definitely a few times a week. Always around, the allocations that we're getting back, feedback around how the boys have been. We send that through straight after a game, just a general feedback, and then obviously early in the week we have a chat to the players, and the staff up there have been terrific to work with. Their communication's fantastic. So look, I wouldn't say Craig's on the phone to me every day wanting to know how blokes are going, but had a good chat to him today about how a few of the boys have been going, and he's pretty good. Yeah,
maybe he should, but anyway, just saying. You got to buy the following weekend, JB. Do you tell the boys just I don't want you coming off? Run to get gassed because you got a week off. Is that something? Obviously, Tweed they would also have a bye the following week as well. So there's going to be 2 sides who are just going to go hell for leather because they've got 14 days off. Yeah,
it's the last game in our little block. We've been working in blocks all year, and our plan was to win 3 out of this 3. We got an opportunity to win 2, so we have to grab this one. So look, as far as telling them to go flat chat, I'm telling them that every week. So. Regardless of whether we've got a week off or not. But, we get an opportunity to freshen up, and we need it. We've obviously got some injuries. So we're testing our depth at the moment, which is, with that, you provide some opportunities to some young guys. And, that's, I suppose, one of the good parts of coaching.
One of the most glorious things I've ever seen on a football field in a long, long time is Ben Leslie scoring that try, mate. That was magnificent. Has he spoken about that at all?
Not yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear about it tonight.
Right, it's just out here, by the way. Grass green, really nice. JB, thanks for your time, mate.
No worries at all. Mate. Thanks, guys.
All right, I made a mistake. I thought Ben Leslie was the most beautiful man in the forward pack, but I'm wrong. The man next to me on my right, Mitchell Frei, is a contender. How are you, Frye?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I feel pretty good after a compliment like that, but
well, that's true.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I've got your photo in my wallet. Only from here up, of course. But anyway, let's move on. Last weekend against Redcliffe, when you played for Woonamallee, you kicked the field goal to win by 1 point many years ago, and then on the weekend we needed 2 points to take the chocolates off. The field goal would have got us to a draw, but physical game of footy, mate.
Yeah, it was. We've had a couple in a row now against the PNG, then up against them too. But it's it's one of those things where I suppose we're all pretty sore. But there were some moments in that game where we sort of lapsed, and that's sort of what cost us.
When you talk about lapses, is that across the board, or is there a turning moment? Is there a drop ball? Is it a try score? There wasn't a lot of points scored in this game here, but what can actually have dodgy referee decisions, if I can, forward passes, what can, or all those?
I think something we've spoken about a fair bit is you had 10 minutes before half time.
Yes.
And then you look at, on the weekend just gone, we went, penalty try, I think in the last 7 minutes or something like that. And without that, I think we're going up 6 or 8-0 or something like that, whatever the score was. But, that's just, whatever the turnaround there, that sort of helps us. And then I think just at some critical times we've sort of just made little mistakes, and the good thing is we don't have to question our structures or anything like that. Everything like that's fine. We're making meters with the ball, we're sort of defending our try line well, but we're just making mistakes at times and getting punished for them.
You're up against Tweed this weekend. They're a very mobile side. They're sitting second on the ladder or third on the ladder, whatever it may be. Not that the ladder really matters, but you're going down to pig had been in the graveyard. It's not a fun place to go to the best of times. How do you beat these guys?
I think, as cliche as it sounds, we've just got to worry about ourselves.
Yep.
We've got to fix that 10-minute period before half time. We spoke about having a good completion rate. Every team speaks about that, but that's something we've just got to do. I think if we sort of just worry about ourselves, obviously we'll have to touch on a lot of what they do, but it's more so getting to the stage of the year where we've got to get ourselves right before we worry about them.
And sometimes you need a plan B and C. You get a back goes down or something like that, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to ask you. Well, I will ask you. You could fill the number 6 or 7 spot easy.
Prefer the 7, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not a hard job to halves, is it?
No, pretty easy. All you do is just talk, point, pass,
and
kick.
yap a lot.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic stuff. But
have a whinge, yeah.
Have a whinge.
Pretty good at that.
Obviously, there's a plan B, and that's where your skipper comes involved, where Darren comes in and changes and tries and lifts the game. And then obviously your fullback needs to actually direct traffic because he can see what's happening from behind. So when you talk about that, you don't get time because it's a pretty fast game there.
No, we're lucky. Obviously, Desi, he doesn't shut up out there, which is, what you want from a half. It gets a little bit annoying because he's got a bit of a husky voice. So sometimes you can't hear
him. It's all right
in
a nightclub at 3 a.m. in the morning, but not out in the field.
Yeah, he's real good. And, the fullbacks we have, obviously, Bealey's gone now, but Percy's done a lot of talking. We are okay in the talk department, but I suppose it's sort of, at times, we've got to listen to what's being said.
All right, well, then, as part of the forward pack, you're a bit of a... it's the same. We used to call them the pigs, the forwards. Have you got that brotherhood of arms that you guys just run as a pack together? You're really geeing yourself up. Don't worry about the pretty boys out the back here, but is there that camaraderie?
You've just called me a pretty boy, mate. Don't forget.
Yeah, no, you're not pretty. You're outstanding.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I think we do.
At a moment.
Yeah.
Right, move on.
Cheers.
But with the forwards, you obviously got to run as a unit, but you obviously come together. Payne, you've got Bertie, you've got Galaxy Stars there. It must be fun to run with that pack. Yeah,
it is. It's awesome. I think we do have a tight brotherhood. And something many people understand about this comp is with affiliations and stuff like that. You only get players for about a half-hour session. From Melbourne, and every club goes through that. So it's not just us, but it does take time to form those combinations and bonds and things like that. But I think we are. We've got a real good, strong forward pack. We have had some injuries, but everyone that's coming in has been up to standard, and a lot of depth at this club is something that we should have pride in. That we can have those injuries or things can happen to our team, and the people we're bringing in are top quality players. All right, Frye, just a quick one. What's game day ritual for you, mate? What do you do first thing in the morning? You obviously get up and... My game day is not too fast. It's just sort of when I get to training, get to the game, I'll always have a shower. You don't chop a lot of wood in the morning or anything like that? Nah, not anymore. Used to. Ever since they brought in chainsaws, I just thought I can't do it. I'm just an axe man. You are an axe man. You're a lumberjack from way back. But anyway, Frye, listen, all the best on the weekend against where you got to buy the following weekend. What will you do on the weekend off? I'm not too sure. So I probably might head down to Ballina or somewhere down there. Oh, yeah? Good part of the world. Beautiful. All right. And taking any Tupperware with you? Tupperware, yeah. See what happens. All right, mate. Okay, thanks for your time, Frye. You talk again soon. Cheers, mate. Thank you. See ya. Thank you. All right. Danielle Hunter is part of the BHP women's side. They took on Valleys last weekend. Danielle, you knew going to this game was going to be a tough assignment. How was the lead up to this week? Was there a lot of talk about the opposition, or did you just talk about your own preparation? We just kept trying to build on everything we've been working out throughout the week. So slowing them down in defence, stretching them and controlling the player ball. And then just our own discipline, completing sets, field position, getting other side of field. We do know how Ali plays. She'll have an inside-outside runner, dummy left, right, go herself. But it's easier said than done to shut it down. Yeah. And it is hard because they've got Grace Griffin as well, who's handy on the other side. So they've got... When you're going into a game when you've got Australian and Queensland players, do you get nervous, or you just really look forward to the challenge? You can't wait to get out there. Oh, I love the challenge. Yeah. I want to prove to them that we can mix it with the best, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Being competitive and just going hard. You do get, I wouldn't say nervous. You just look out for them, you're wary of their big fend and stuff, so you can shut them down. But the second half, the first half was, probably wasn't great, but you came out in the second half. I don't know, just quickly, Adrian Bowles
a quick message. Adrian's dad passed away during the week, so he was out in Charleville. So obviously you had somebody else in the coaching staff there, but on behalf of myself and all the girls, his dad's he's a great guy, and Vals is a great guy, and hopefully he'll be back on deck soon. But what was said at halftime that really revved you guys up?
Newey just wanted us to worry about our game and coming out with intensity. I've noticed the first half we just, I don't know, it's that arm wrestle, that grind, and it's not that we're not fit because we always come back better in the second half. But it's just like meeting them and rising to them and getting in that arm wrestle and really mixing it,
So with Taylor, who's your skipper, she's probably quiet spoken sort of thing, but is she like, there's a vein coming out of the top of her head, does she go nuts in the shed and really lets it sounds like a pirate in there? Is she really, very unchristian like that, or is she more of a placid sort of the stank eye sort of thing? Nah,
she's more cool, calm and collected. Like she's the one I go to Tay, I'm like, okay, Tay on the field, like what do we need to do next? Like what can I concentrate on here? Whereas Dewey, she was fired up because we really wanted to win against Valley's full courage because Adrian has put so much into us girls and we just want to show them like our love and support by showing what we can do against Valleys. Didn't quite work out like that, but he knows we're putting in the effort. And but Dewey was, she was fiery.
She's always fiery. Slide on the bill of the table and she'll throw it back at you. But it is a tough ask against Valleys. You weren't disgraced. You came out in the second half and obviously did your best. There's only one round to go. Obviously, in semi-finals are coming up. So this weekend, who you got this weekend?
Tweed.
Tweed. So with Tweed, they're a very, very exciting side to watch, and they can throw a lot at you. Whereas Valley's are probably a little bit more structured, so are Burleigh and to a degree West. But Tweed seem to play that more ad-lib footy. You ready for this? Yeah,
definitely. We just need to wrap that ball up, stop the offloads, our second phase plays, because I think they really run off the back of that. But I'm confident against T. Like, we've got this.
You got that?
Yeah.
Hopefully get in the semi-finals, which is a possibility. It's the top four. Once this season's over, where do you go? Are you playing in the lower grades? You want to give footy away for a month or two?
Still undecided. I'm thinking about going back to Carina, which is where I've started.
Okay.
But I'm also thinking of following like MMA and Muay Thai and doing boxing and training to work on my wrestling techniques and stuff and get fit that way. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I'd love to be an amateur fighter one day, but...
Don't worry about Cat more, but that is interesting. So, but with footy, how did you end up playing the game?
I've loved rugby league since I was like 6 years old.
Okay.
Like my dad's a mad Para Eels supporter, and I grew up playing touch, soccer, netball, everything. And rugby league's always been my passion.
Okay.
So I follow the Roosters, mad diehard supporter. And then I googled Carina, and Carina came up. So I went to them about 5-6 years ago now, and through injury I've been on and off.
Yep.
But finally I was like, no, I'm ready for BHP. I want to come back. Yeah.
So you've been on a road trip a couple of times when you've gone up there. Who's really, when they're out of town, what's on tour stays on tour? Nobody watches this, so you can tell us.
The tiger on tour was definitely Eloise. She was a menace. She went so hard. And the ones you don't expect, hey. Yeah. But her, Emily Vivas, Talia, that was so much funny.
It sounds like Valsey's got himself a bunch of players that really enjoy each other's company. Am I pretty close to that?
Yeah. I think that's the best thing about East is our culture. Yep. And we can really build off that, because if you don't have that, teams will just fall apart, as we've seen over the years in women's rugby league. So if we can keep our group nice and tight, we all love each other and get along. Yeah.
The NRLW, we're wondering what you're doing in a couple of months' time.
I'd love to.
What would you do for the NRL? So you're not playing the national championships, really?
No.
But if you, it just seems to be odd that we've only got 4 teams in the NRLW. I can't understand why there's 6, 8, or not 10. The women's game, when you said you played 5 years ago, would never have been thought about playing in the NRL. So there's a lot of opportunities for young players. Have you got sisters or siblings or anybody else who might be thinking about playing footy when they're younger?
Nah, probably not. I'm hoping my nieces follow my footsteps one day. My little niece, she's in karate at the moment, so I'm hoping because they'll watch me on the live stream. So they watch me in Townsville. They're all there, so that's pretty cool with my family. But the NRLW, how amazing is that? I would love what I would give.
All right. Superstitions before you play?
Superstitions.
Yeah.
Ooh, I always have brekkie. I wear the same underwear every game, same get up.
Yep. Lucky there's only 7 games in the competition.
Yeah. Well, I watch it.
Oh. There's a thought I never did that.
I was like, what do you
No wonder no one came near me. Okay, yeah. So, and what else?
I make
songs?
sure. Oh, I just have a real pump up playlist. Like I listen to Triple J, so just all like beats, and then go to brekkie with friends or family, and clean, play video games. Just try not to overthink the game too much.
Oh, smokes. That's a crazy little superstition there. Danielle Hunter, look, all the best. Hopefully this is not the last game this weekend, and hopefully if that is and you go into the boxing and all that sort of stuff, try and look after yourself because we'll need you next year, because I think the Brisbane Tigers BHP side is starting to build. The Burleigh Bears 10 years ago were probably exactly the way you guys were. You all came together, you were young,
That's right.
excited, you've got a great coach, and I think whatever happens this year, you'll take a lot into 2022, and we look forward to seeing how you progress. And anybody who wants to throw some money at a promoter for a fight in MMA?
This guy.
Have you got a boxing name? Is it Danielle?
My last name's
Hunter?
Hunter, so I have to think of something cool. I've been stewing on that for a long time.
All right, well, we might do a competition.
Catch me up, bloodshed.
All right, Danielle, thanks for your time on League and More, and we'll look forward to hopefully talking to you again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Mark Lydden joins us at League and More, and the Fab 4 on the trot. I'm going to touch him. You might be good luck. Gliddo, you played Redcliffe early in the year. You got pumped. You knew you were up against. This really shows the difference between trials and footy. When there's 2 points on the table, you really come out, and that's where the contest really starts.
Yeah, look, Redcliffe are a quality side, and they come out, they got a big forward pack, and we stuck to our guns, played some pretty good footy. Trial form doesn't really mean a lot.
Yep.
And we got the 2 points, and that's what we came there to do. There wasn't a great deal in it. I looked at the stats today. The stats come out, and they pretty well beat us everywhere by the scoreboard. Okay. So it's quite interesting.
So, you drive the show and putt for that. Obviously, you played in segments rather than in large blocks. Is that
as far as games go, you mean?
This week.
Yeah, we looked at our first 4 games, and we're in our second block of our second 4 now, so we go monthly.
Yep, okay. With the game on the weekend, ebbed and flow. Obviously, half-time, you had a pretty comfortable lead, but you knew the Dolphins, what they could do. Even though you're at home, but it's a cliche and a half, but what did you say at half-time that didn't work?
I really don't know. I didn't say a real lot of half-time. I didn't need to. We were playing good footy, so it's not broken. You don't try and fix it, but... we scored early in the second half, which sometimes a cardinal sin, and from then onwards, Redcliffe, really got back into the game. They completed their sets really well, and it got back to within 4 points, and we scored late to get the chockies, so it was very pleasing.
When that starts happening, what's the message you send out to your boys? Do you shut up shop, or do you try and keep playing what you did in the first half that got you there? What's the call?
What happened was we lost our momentum. We made a few errors, and when you lose momentum and the opposition get a bit of footy, they get a bit of field position, they get a bit of confidence. So we get sending messages out, not in so many words, but more about stay calm. We will get the footy back. When we get the footy back, momentum will change, and it did. And to our players' credit, they managed the game quite well.
Mate, you're sitting, you're up there sitting second spot next to Winnemanly. Obviously, you beat them probably, that might have been the start of 4 weeks ago,
3 weeks ago,
yeah. You're up against another bunch of Seagulls this weekend. You're up against Tweed. It's a way, you've got to win those away games. You'll really make sure you cement yourself in the top 5. They're not travelling too well, but that doesn't mean they're not going to hurt you.
Yeah, well, I think they're going better than what people give them credit for. They knocked off a couple of decent sides, I suppose you could say, and they knocked off Burleigh in there too, and Burleigh put the cleaners through us. So Pigamon's the hardest road trip. Yeah. It really is. It's a hard place to win footy games, and Matty King coaches them. He'd be doing a fair job with them. So, we won't be going there complacent, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I've travelled to Pigabeen and I've driven past a lot of shovels and blue tarps on the way into there, but came out unscathed. Mate, last game before the bye. Do you ask for a little bit more energy when there's that on the horizon?
Yeah, definitely. That's a selling point. Yep. The bye, we give them a little carrot, and if they do the right thing and get the 2 points, we'll probably give them next week off. So see how we go.
So there is a soft side to Mark Lydden?
100%.
He's like one of those gobstoppers, aren't you, mate? Not hard on the outside. Once you bust through, yum. Anyway, all the best, mate, and good luck this week. 5 on the trot, be a nice way to go into the bye, and see how you go. But Tweed might have something to say about that.
Yeah, and that's it. And, at the end of the day, we're just be out there doing our best, and really looking forward to it. Actually, we're a little wounded this week, so give some guys an opportunity that probably saying to themselves, gee, Gliddo won't give me a go. Well, this week, then Blakes might get an opportunity. Just quickly, you and JB tied up with the Storm. The boys are up in town. You had a bit of a chat with
with Craig and and company?
Yeah, we went down to, or up to, I should say, the sunny coast today and watched their review. It was really interesting, really educational for myself as a coach. Learned a bit.
Yep.
And had the opportunity to have a coffee with Craig and his staff afterwards. So it was good. It was really interesting.
All right. Did you pay?
No. I think Craig paid, actually. There you go. Craig paid.
It must taste really good. There you go. All right. All the best of the weekend. Thanks for your time, Mark Lydden.
Pleasure.
Okay, they won 4 on the trot. The Colts are on fire. They've got one more round before the bye this weekend. Lachlan West joins us. Westy, you went to Toowoomba, a good win. Probably didn't get as much, I know it's a good win. You may have sort of not been quite match fit coming into this last weekend's game, but you played Redcliffe, got touched up early in the year, and then you come out and you turn the tables. Great effort.
Yeah, actually in the trial we played them, and obviously they put a bit on us, but the Toowoomba game sort of, it wasn't obviously a tight game or anything, but gave us a bit of confidence just going in that Redcliffe game, and obviously on the weekend we sort of proved that.
You played against Wynnum Manly?
Yep.
Best win for you this year, best game?
Yeah, for sure. That Wynnum game, our preparation was really good, and we knew that was going to have to be a big key getting that. But Wynnum game for sure. Even Redcliffe, that was a big win for us, even though we didn't. Our second half wasn't the best, but they were our 2 biggest games we wanted to get a win against.
All right, at half time, obviously, you go. I often ask, what the coach say, but what do you say to yourself when you go into the sheds? Do you pick out things that you didn't do well and you want to improve on when you go out in the second half, or do you just listen to the coach's instructions, but do you self-assess yourself?
Yeah, I think every player does that.
Yep.
A self-assess is sort of, you just do that mentally. Obviously, you listen to what the coach says, but I feel like, if you're playing well in the first half, you just keep doing those things, but not playing well, obviously you're going to do a self-assessment, say, this is what I can do on that.
With the videos that Glitto puts up there, do you spot stuff that he doesn't?
Yeah, obviously, because every player on the field is sort of different sides of the field, different, for me at fullback, you're obviously going to see different things, and a video, especially Glitto, because Glitto is obviously looking at a team aspect thing, but for players, you're always looking at things where you can sort of get your own way in there or get an advantage in your opponents. But.
Are you a bit of a yeller down the back there at fullback? Yeah,
you sort of have to. I'm obviously a quiet sort of person, that's my persona, but in these type of games, it's real quick now. You sort of got to, especially those forwards getting tired and that, you really got to let them know.
But so when you say quiet sort of a guy, and all of a sudden you're at the back 1-on-1 because somebody missed a tackle, do you lose that little silence behind the post and rip in and say, what the?
Because the game's so quick now, with the 60-game calls and everything, the new rules, I understand the forwards, especially on the weekends.
Here it comes. Bag the forwards.
Especially against Redcliffe. I'll give it to them. Honestly, they're doing a lot, the 60-game call and everything. You have, 20 tackles where you got to defend. Eventually they're going to crack the line, but you can't get them too much.
With the fullback, obviously there's a game plan. When do you have a license to just join the back line when you think you can apply that, or have you got a game plan where Glitto says don't you dare join that back line, or don't go to the left, or don't go to the right? Is there a little bit of latitude for a fullback because you are on your own at the back there? Yeah.
Glitto, he's sort of lenient. He's like that. We obviously have our set plays where I have to be. If I'm not there, he's obviously going to rip me. But I like the way the Glitto's let me play. I can sort of chime in when I want to. And that's how I like it. But obviously we have a set plays where I have to be, but he allows me to chime in when I need to be.
Glitto sits on the sidelines most of the time, especially here at Totally Workwear Stadium. You're at the back. Does he ask you what you saw out there that he may not have seen? Because obviously there's not a camera there either. Do you notice anything that could be worked on?
Yeah, he's always asking that, especially defensively, where they're coming at us. And say if they're getting through us, he'll see, obviously I see the best sort of view from being at the back, how we're defending, how they're attacking. But if they're cracking our line, he'll ask me what we can fix and everything, because I have sort of the best view from being at the back.
Okay. Wesley, how did you end up being here at the Brisbane Tigers?
Well, I went to Kidder Park for 2019, 2020, those years. I come up here for the first year. My first year was Mel season, and obviously because of the COVID stuff, we only got to play one game, but this is my second year here now. So.
All right, you liking it?
Yeah, it's great. The culture's real good. The coaches obviously have been good. Isaac Kaufman last year, and he was a great coach, and Glitto, no problems this year.
So you got, so last year had Isaac, and this year you got Glitto. There you go.
Yeah, Glitto. Coffee was really good. Same thing. He let me play how I wanted to play, and Glitto saw the same thing. That's what I like from a coach, and obviously they're real positive, so no complaints. But
yeah, pat him on the head or anything. He loves it. Try it. So there you go. Anyway, Wesley, one last thing. Do you have any teammates that you really would not like to roommate with that would be just a slob, leaves toothpaste everywhere? Is anyone in the club?
Don't want to call anyone out, but
Yeah, you got to. That's why I asked you.
probably Jordan Pankwood. Probably a bit of a mystery there. I
Really?
wouldn't know how we'd we haven't done any room obviously. I haven't travelled yet, but I think it'd be
Words
like
out there.
Cairns is our next one. But yeah, Pank's probably one I'd be hesitant with. But
All right, mate.
Yeah.
Might just give him, PPEs. So slobbiness everywhere. Mate, listen, all the best this weekend. It's the last weekend, then you've got to buy the following weekend. Are you looking forward to the buy?
Yeah, I think we picked up a few little niggles
Yep.
everyone's got, obviously just because it's obviously a long season and that. But I think after this week we can get a win, and then the week off everyone's sort of recover and go again.
All right, I can just see yourself on the weekend off, going up in the mountain, strumming your guitar and just chilling out, mate. Is that you?
Yeah, I'll be quite up here, but I think I'll be going up to the mountains. But
All right, then. Easy man, Lachlan West, mate, all the best this weekend, and hopefully come away with 5 from 5, 4 on the trot. You don't want to you don't want to spend those 2 weeks with a loss behind you. So 5 from 5, you'll be really strumming that guitar up there in the hills. So thanks for your time, mate.
appreciate it. Thank
Cheers.
you.
Finally, some classes come to League and more. We've got none other than Mel Tavern. How are you, Mel?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Tell us your role here at the Brisbane Tigers.
Yeah, so doing the commercial and marketing side of things for the club. So
if somebody wants to sponsor your moon boot, they call you.
yes, they call me.
So if somebody from Adidas or Nike who've got the really good boots want to put their tick or something on the side of your boot, they call you.
I reckon that's a great idea because, it's on show every game day.
Yeah.
So
And rumour has it that you actually can move faster with that on now than you had to.
I'm doing more steps on that apparently.
All right. So not only that, you look after some of the social side of things as well?
Yeah.
Yep. And you're also ground announcing as well. I've seen you do some stuff out there. The only time I've actually heard Langlands Park just go silent when you talk. Is that true?
Apparently that's what happens when a Lebanese person is speaking.
I must remember
We
that.
tend to have I don't know what it is.
I'm listening right now. There you go. Mel, marketing, very important to any club.
Yep.
Obviously, we need sponsors. We've got some great sponsors. Obviously, Totally Workwear is one of those. It's not too late to become a partner of the club at any stage. They
Definitely not. It's
become
never
involved.
too late.
And because we've got so many competitions, we've got the BRL side, we've got the under-18s, we've got the under-20s, we've got the BHP, we've got Galaxy stuff. So there's plenty of opportunities to become part of the Tigers family.
So many opportunities. It's really what a club is built on. Sponsorships and your amazing sponsors. That's what gets a club going and keeps it viable, really.
And the more we can get those sponsorship dollars in, we haven't got to rely on our great volunteers so much
Exactly.
as well, so they can enjoy their game day experience. Game day experience, you're part of you're involved in that as well?
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
So any chance we can get you doing a couple of TikTok numbers at halftime? No?
I can't guarantee that.
What if we get the CEO to start a few moves? I think Brian Torpy would be outstanding. Actually, get all 3 Torpies out there. We could have the trifecta of Torpies.
I reckon we should do that.
All right, we'll talk to the boss there. Mel, anybody who wants to get involved with the marketing and want to become part of the Tigers franchising, obviously next year we're looking for sponsors for next year as well. So give you a call. You're on the website and the Facebook page and all that sort of stuff.
I am. Yeah. Just send us an email, send us a message. We'll get back to you straight away.
And she's just as nice on the phone as she is in front of the camera, aren't you, Mel?
I like to think so.
All right, thanks for your time, Mel. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, big show, mate. Next weekend there's a bye, but hopefully a win. The Colts 4 in a row, looking for 5 in a row. Hopefully the BHP women's side can get a win, stay in the semi-finals. But really the cup side, you mentioned at the top of the show, can't go back-to-back losses.
Yeah, no, certainly can't. It's that kills you. I mean, they're sort of hanging around the top sort of 7 or 8 sides sort of thing. So they really need to get a string of few wins together, starting with the Tweed this weekend.
All right, thanks for joining us this week. We'll talk to you again, and thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share our program each week, our League and More, and send it out to the faithful. Even people that you do like, send it to them as well. It'll be fantastic. All right, we'll talk to you next week, mate.
Well done, bud.